Okay, so the slant height and the lateral or slant height is what we're looking for here. Here's your general formula. So it is surface area of a pyramid is going to be big B. Do you remember what that stands for?
Big B?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so big
I would
B is
definitely
always
say
going to be area of the base. So that's like consistent. Whenever we do volume, you'll see it as big B. When we did surface area before, big B is always going to be area of the base. So that's
okay.
easy. It depends on what shape it is, but it could be a triangle, it could be a rectangle. You just got to use your formula sheet and do that. Here's kind of the new part. So it says 1/2 PL. So that's going to be what we called last time our lateral area. So the area like on the side. So think you have a base and then you have the 4 triangles on the side. So that's the lateral area. What does the P stand for? It's there.
This
You
was
can read it.
on
Yeah, same as what it was before.
perimeter of the base.
Good. So P is perimeter of the base, and L is that new one we're talking about. So it's slant height.
Slant height.
So it's L, and that is a shitty variable to use. I will be honest about it, but everything you see formula-wise in like lots of textbooks is always going to be L. So I just wanted to use L not to confuse you guys, but just be aware it's an L, not a 1. So L is going to be your slant height there. And what that comes from, if you were to look at this pyramid, what's the lateral area of that pyramid? How many triangles do you have on the outside?
4.
4. So the lateral area of this pyramid, wouldn't it be 4 times 1/2 base times height? Here, I'm just showing you kind of how to rearrange it. So this height is actually the slant height, right? It's not the height of the pyramid. It's actually the slant height. So let's rewrite it as 4 times 1/2 times B times L. Okay, now we're at least there. Now, if you look at that, though, isn't 4 times the base? So the base is just one of these. So like this that I just underlined and squiggled, that's the base of the triangle, right? See how it's lowercase b? So it doesn't mean area of the base here, just means lowercase. So if I do 4 times b, wasn't that equal to perimeter? So it'd be 4 times b. Yeah, exactly. So that would be perimeter. And do you see where the 1/2 PL comes from? So it's exactly what you think it should be, but it just like is a little bit more simple. So for you, I wanted to explain where it's coming from, just because I think that's sometimes super helpful to see. But otherwise, we're going to do the same formula. I literally have the same charts for you. Here's the cone one. So if you have a cone, pi r squared, what is that formula for?
Circumference.
Careful, the other one.
No. Pi r squared. Surface area? No.
Yeah, so it's the area of a circle. So that's basically the area of your base. Because if you have a cone, isn't your base a circle? So it's the same formula. I just have the circle stuff plugged into it. I don't know where my of went, but that's fine. Okay, so let's actually just jump in and do one. So same thing before. You can use the formulas, or you can just do the table.
I have the table next to me, so.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So we're going to look here. Option 1, again, is the formula. Option 2 is the tables. Notice, though, now you have 2 different tables. So, like, I'm going to go through and label the other one, but this one is specifically labeled for cones and pyramids. So, like, as it gets harder, make sure you're choosing the right table. Otherwise, you're just doing the wrong shape totally altogether. Okay, so let's do this one, and you can actually probably go through it. You rocked it last class. So what's the shape of our base here?
Circle.
Yep. Easy. What's the radius of that circle?
6.
Yep. Okay. What's the area of our base? So you have to think of the area of a circle.
Pi r squared.
Okay. Yep. So we're going to use pi r squared there. Okay. Plug it in. What would the area there be?
36 pi.
Yep.
113.09.
For now, we're just going to. Yeah, you're right, Trent. But for now, we're just going to leave it in terms of pi because that makes it more accurate in the end. Okay, what's our perimeter of the base?
How do you spell perimeter in that?
Yeah. So perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r. And that's one, if you go back, and I'll repost that cheat sheet too, the cheat sheet that we've been using almost all chapter, that's got all those formulas on it.
And it's 12 pi.
Okay, good. So if I plug in 6 there, I have 12 pi. Okay, and then what is my slant height? So the slant height, you want to think the height of like the diagonal on the and the slant. Yep, perfect. Okay, let's finish this one. I want to tell you how your homework is going to be a little bit more complicated. So next one is do your lateral area. So that's 1/2 PL. So plug it in. Are you okay with 1/2 times 12 pi times 10?
Pi times 10. I got 60 pi.
Yep, perfect. Okay, and just like we did before, you want to add up those two boxes. So the total is going to be 60 pi plus 36 pi. So that's going to be what, 96 pi?
96 pi.
You can just leave it in terms of pi. Obviously, you know how to convert it if you need to. So 96 pi inches squared because it's still surface area. So same kind of thing we did last block, but just like almost actually a little bit less math to do. Okay, things I want to point out. What'd you say?
I said it does seem a little bit easier.
Yeah, just like a little bit less calculations because you only have one base instead of two. But I want to point out this. What if I had not given you 10 and I'd given you that this was 8? Yes or no, do we have the slant height there?
No.
No. So what theorem could we use to find the slant height?
Pythagorean theorem.
So I'm just going to put a note here that says you may have to use Pythag to find the slant height. So just keep that in mind. That's just one of the tools you have to solve these problems. So you may have to use Pythag to find the slant height. Okay, perfect. Let's do example 2 and 3. And then your lesson today is just 2 things. It's the Kahoot and then a story problem, kind of like what we did last class again.
Yep.
Okay, so if you're looking at this one, you set me up. What shape is our base here?
Square.
Yeah, this should say
area
my fault.
Base.
Okay, so base is a square. We okay that it's 16 by 16?
Yep.
So what shape or what's the area of that then?
256.
Okay, perfect.
And then the perimeter is 64.
Yep, perfect.
The slant height is 17.
Yep, good.
And then put it all together, 1/2, 64, 17. 540.
Okay.
544.
Okay. Yep. Add those together. You're rocking it.
256. 800.
Cool. So then it's still going to be feet squared and you're good to go.
Perfect.
So pretty easy, actually. You're doing great. Okay, let's do the last one. I don't think it's a little bit different just because it's a triangle, but notice I kind of give you some super helpful things there. So what shape is our base on this one?
Triangle.
Yep.
And then the area is 43.3.
Yeah, so you actually do know how to do the area of this, but you'd have to do some Pythagorean theorem to find that dotted line. So I just gave it to you. So it would be 43.3. Okay, perfect. Keep going.
Wait, what's the 10 millimeter in the back? What's that?
So that's the third side. It's showing you that it's an equilateral triangle, so all the sides are the same.
Okay. Okay, so 4.3, and then perimeter is 30.
Yep.
And then slant height is 12.
Yep. And remember, you may have to do Pythagorean theorem to find that. Just FYI.
1/2, 30. Crap. And then slant height is 12. You give 180.
Okay.
And you got 223.3.
Perfect.